impressions matter, but they do not have to define you. Welcome back to Stylcents and the Rise Image Conversation. Today we're talking about first impressions. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like people judged you before they even got to know you? Or have you ever met someone and formed an opinion about them before they said very much? I have. That is the power of a first impression. First impressions happen quickly, like that. People notice how you walk in, they notice your posture, they notice your facial expressions, they notice your clothing, your tone, your energy, and they notice the way you greet others. And while a first impression does not always tell the full story of who you are, it can definitely influence how people respond to you. So this is why image awareness is important for youth, for athletes, for adults, men, women. First impressions can happen everywhere. At school, at tryouts, at competitions, at interviews, college visits, community events, and especially online. Even when you're not trying to make a first impression, one is still being made. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to be nervous every time you walk into a room. It means you should learn to be intentional. A first impression is an introduction. It's not the entire definition of who you are. If you have ever made a poor first impression, and we all have, that doesn't mean it's over. You can grow, you can correct it, you can show consistency, and you can build trust over time. But when you know better, you can prepare better. So let's talk about a few simple ways to make a stronger first impression. First, be aware of your posture. Stand tall. Now, I'm only 5'1", so I'm not going to be standing too tall. But sit with confidence. Cross your legs. If you got on a skirt, cross your ankles. Your body language says something before your words do. So second, practice a clear greeting. A simple, hello, my name is, can go a long way. Third, make appropriate eye contact. You don't have to stare, but looking down the entire time may communicate nervousness, disinterest, or lack of confidence. I know when I'm nervous, I will tend to look away. So fourth, you got to be mindful of your facial expressions. Now, this is something that I have had to grow and still practice because my face usually shows it all. It tells everything I'm thinking. Sometimes we can look upset, distracted, or uninterested when we do not mean to. Fifth, dress for the environment. That does not mean that you have to lose your style. It means understanding the moment. A school presentation, an interview, an athletic banquet, or community event may require a different level of presentation. And finally, listen. A good first impression is not about talking, and I like to talk a lot. It is about showing respect through listening. And for our athletes, this is especially important. Coaches notice how you enter practice. They notice how you respond to correction. They notice whether you're prepared. And they notice your body language when things don't go your way. And for our young women, this is also powerful. You deserve to walk into rooms with confidence. Now, not arrogance, not fear, confidence. You don't have to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. And you do not have to perform perfection to be respected. But you can learn to show up with presence. Now, here's your rise reflection for today. The next time you walk into a room, ask yourself, what is my interest communicating? Am I showing confidence? Am I showing respect? Am I showing that I am prepared? First impressions, they matter. But remember, they don't always have to define you forever. Your consistency tells the bigger story. So thank you for watching Stylcents and the Rise Image Conversation. And in the comments, tell me, what is the one thing you think you can improve the way you introduce yourself? And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. And until then, continue to rise.